Hello, welcome to another reaction video here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole, and today we have the Xbox Gamescom 2021 FanFest event, live stream, whatever they call this. I have completely lost track on what they are actually calling this. And right now we have 4 minutes left before this starts. And I'm curious what they have to showcase. Maybe we are getting actually a release date for Halo Infinite, maybe? Because just a few days ago they announced that Halo Infinite will unfortunately ship without the co-op campaign and Forge, which is really unfortunate. And we even talked about it like, hey, like, would you pay $60 for that? So yeah, we have to see, but this is the Gamescom event, which starts in 3 minutes, and I'm curious to see what else they have to show. I don't really expect too many big announcements, because, let's be honest here, we had E3 just like 2 months ago, and I just assume that there will be not much. So they will probably talk about announcers we already know. Like as I said, maybe we are getting the Halo Infinite release date. Finally, that would be neat, because the game is coming out around holidays, and it's nearly September, you know? Time for lunch, be back, salad day. Ooh, good luck with that. And Days Gin, thank you very much for the follow and good luck with the giveaway. But yeah, apparently they are showing a lot of like German Xbox fans right now, or people who are working at Xbox. This is why we have muted this. So nothing really you miss here right now, to make this very clear. And I'm really curious to see what Xbox has to showcase. But I don't really expect like any big announcements. There were rumors actually that there is a chance that they might talk about also the new Destiny expansion, which is coming out in February. So if you like Destiny 2, there might be actually an announcement for you in here. Maybe. We have to see. There have been already some leaks. But then again, I'm not a Destiny 2 player. I don't know. I have no clue. So I have to get surprised. And folks, good luck with all the giveaways. I wish you the best of luck. All the Xbox fans. Yeah, they are just talking about how much they love Xbox and probably how much they love Halo and something like that. And they do that in German, so we don't really have to listen to that, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm curious. Wait. What is that? Is that CC? Okay. Put the captions off. 1 minute left. Oh, by the way, for all the people who are interested in Psychonaut 2, we might actually play some more Psychonaut 2 after this, depending on how long this runs. I think it runs for like 40 minutes. Yeah, I think it will run for about 40 minutes. And then we have some time left. Let's hope it's not all German. I don't think so. This is the international live stream. Like, they made it clear that this is for like an international audience, and they were promoting it everywhere. So I don't believe that this is all in German. Yeah, I don't believe so. All right, let's do this. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, starting off with Flight Sim. Oh, they're doing the German upgrade. Or they are just flying around in Cologne. Yeah, Gamescom is in Cologne.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Gamescom
Hi.
2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal
Which
favorite,
we have already
Microsoft
played.
Simulate.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this, and Playground Games' vision of Mexico is muy bonito.
And we'll be getting our first look at the cover car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Let's get started with Techland and their upcoming
Oh.
zombie hardcore sequel, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Also, let's crank up the sound here a bit. It's quiet.
Hello,
Whoa.
I am Timon Smektawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for
You
the
know
last
which
few
other
years.
game came out
We're
last
hoping
year in
the gameplay
December?
video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of
Yeah,
parkour
right.
and combat systems
Cyberpunk.
waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way through its brutal and dangerous streets.
And what we have
Though,
heard about Dying
as you
Light
will
2
see
was
in a
also not
moment,
very
there are
confident.
plenty of things you can use to your
I'm
advantage.
still very much on
So
the
watch
fence of this
closely,
game.
Look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this. Probably
We'll
like
see.
many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones.
That voice.
Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other.
Oh boy.
War broke out.
Was it a little bird? Met a broken leg?
Hope died. Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
But I can't let that happen.
Ooh.
At least,
I mean, it looks really fluent, right?
I need the secrets. this
But
city
then
holds.
they also did that pretty well in the first one.
Still some rats here.
I have to pick a side.
The bazaar needs good people. You're doing great so far.
I have to make a difference.
Let's check.
Oh, that looks cool. Well,
They say that great change is a series of small gestures.
who's this voice actor?
How about this series?
I definitely know the voice actor. But I don't know who. Wait,
Is all hope really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timon?
is that
Did you notice those
that the English
bandits
voice?
with evil-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern dark
Jonas Scott?
ages.
And it's a
Yeah,
very
from
unique design,
Beastars. I
one
think
very
he
important
is,
for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another
what's the
thing
wolf
that
name?
stood out to me. All those parkour moves that you
God,
and your
his
team
name
has
slipped.
put so much effort into.
He's the main character in
Well, all you
Beastars.
need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation
And
with
he's
professional
amazing.
chasers, mock-up sessions, and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some
Legacy.
of them
Yes,
in this trailer.
Legacy.
The
There we go.
vault kicks being the most important to me personally.
So it was
Brings
Legacy's
a whole
voice.
new fighting
Okay.
style into the game. The player can stagger
He has an
enemy and
amazing
use them
voice,
to
especially in
perform
Beastars.
further attacks, for example,
Like,
by rebounding
it's
from their
really
bodies,
good.
jumping of them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well.
I'm
and
happy
made it
about
quite
that.
simple for the players to perform.
I really
can't
am.
wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around.
Yeah, I'm
Like the
glad he's doing
paraglider,
more
which
voice
can
acting,
support
actually.
players in both parkouring and combat.
Such an amazing
Exactly, and
voice,
it's gonna do
unused.
great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's
Okay.
been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore
Nope.
its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
We do not pre-order in this house. He's in 1 million animes.
For the first time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console.
Yeah, it's apparently
And that's why
running
I'm
really
extremely
well
honored
on the
to
Xbox.
welcome
Even
head
on
of
the
Microsoft
Series
Flight
S,
Simulator, York
it
Newman,
runs
to the
perfectly,
screen.
which is
York,
crazy.
Thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that
And now
go?
on PC,
It went great.
it
As
runs
you said, the reaction
flawless.
to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof.
It's funny because
We
people
are
have told me when
absolutely
Microsoft
shattering
Flight
franchise
Simulator
records,
came
and I can
out,
tell you, there have never been more
the
people
technical
playing Flight
issues are
Simulator
me,
than right
and
now.
it's my
It's an
hardware.
awesome time.
That is awesome.
haven't
Congratulations
changed my
on the
hardware.
launch, really. But
And the game is now running like just flawlessly.
All right.
Really?
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier. The fans are super excited. They saw the FA-18. They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year as free DLC alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we, so I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this world update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane flying into Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland.
Oh,
And
cool.
what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains. So the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria. And those
cool.
cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs.
Good old
and we sort of
Neuschwanstein.
spread them throughout the simulation, and we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland, and what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights, we have new landing challenges, and we have new sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places.
How he
really
pronounced
celebrate the
just
beauty of
the
this region
cities
of
and
Earth.
stuff.
And
He's
this is
speaking
a
German.
celebration of
He
DACH,
is
of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland.
100%
I'm so happy
speaking
to be able
German.
to announce
He is
the date
German.
here at
I mean, his
Gamescom.
last name is German.
You know, That is really incredible.
And his
all the
first
different
name.
regions and everything. That
So
you're
I
gonna
assumed
have in
as
the
much,
game,
but
the
yeah,
way that you're going to be able to
100%
actually
German.
highlight those.
Which is funny.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But
Yeah.
you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation, when you love aviation like we do. You actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or
You can
a feat
pirate.
of aviation, or like a local manufacturer.
I know you meant it
So we
as a
thought to
joke,
ourselves,
but
why
yes,
do
you
we not
can.
use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
but
interesting.
Why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In
Oh,
Germany,
boy.
it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we
Oh, that's
really want to get
cool,
these
man.
planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way
That looks
to
awesome.
really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We'll take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can really do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we worked with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we worked
They
with an
cut it down
organization that
quite
is
a bit.
preserving one of the last
They cut it down
surviving
by
examples
half.
of the Junkers.
I think it's
So
now
they
like
let us
60
scan and take
gigabytes or something.
photographs. And then we were lucky that to find a pilot that
Yeah,
actually
it's not
flew
like
one of
60
those planes while
gigabyte.
it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air?
They did cut
we're
it
having
for
a
the
blast
Xbox
working
release.
with these experts to really bring these, to celebrate the
Because
plane
it's
and
now an
bring them
Xbox
back to
Series,
life.
and well,
So this is almost like you're
they had to
creating
cut
like
that a
digital
bit.
museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's
Yeah.
a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world. And it's honestly
Cool.
one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies. And they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes. And they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment and we're basically capturing their planes. And they know that we
And
can
breaking
digitally
their
preserve
planes
them
even
in
more. They are
perpetuity.
so happy
And
about
we're
that.
actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking
And we
back at
pay
the
them.
history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter.
Yeah.
And they're making
Oh, no.
an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a
I could
lot
say something
going
about
on
this,
inside of Microsoft
but
Flight Simulator.
let's
Is there
just say
anything else you wanna
cool.
share?
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno
Let's just say
Air
they have
Racing
been a topic in
Association.
Germany.
And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race. And we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth.
Yo, that's
And I
cool.
actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed. We go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
I love Paris. He is a great entertainer. Vroom, vroom. Oh my. All the Mustangs. Yo, I'm looking forward to like all the free updates.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone.
Oh,
I mean,
in fall.
without going into too much
Awesome.
detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the
Yeah, they
famous
have
race
added
planes
so
of
much
the world.
stuff in
There's
a
lots
year.
of them.
Like when I came back
this is
like a
also
month
the first
ago
time
to the
when you
game,
can
I was
basically
like,
race against your friends and
whoa,
pilots across the planet.
what happened here?
And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out?
Are they trying to meme
this?
this?
Is coming out
Yes.
this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
It's all for the
man. We got you
TikToks, Tiny.
All right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber,
I started
we
a
have
new
some
round
great
on
news for
Wasteland
you.
3. Oh boy. Oh, Humble is coming to Game Pass? Oh, they're already on Game Pass, I think.
Build a rocket that'll come and take away
Yeah.
us all. Gonna come back. I am coming back.
This looked actually interesting.
Build a weapon
I heard so many good things about Dodgeball Academia.
once again.
Like, people said this game is completely underestimated. It's really good.
Build a rocket that'll come and take away us all. Gonna come back. I am coming back in a day.
Well, if they would finally release Kerbal 2, then it wouldn't be a problem that they stopped development.
Once again.
Chinatown Detective Agency. That sounds interesting. Also, I would get so DMCA'd on YouTube.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4, the game's creative director. And we're going to see what's next for Sea of Thieves. But now, we've got a new roguelike retro shooter that, in grand retro fashion, sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Oh my. Ooh. That is certainly retro. A lot of glossy textures. A lot of glowing. Maybe it's the stream. I think it is the stream. But it is a tad too pixelated. And folks, thank you so much for all the follows. I do appreciate that. Welcome to Siege. I hope you enjoy your stay here. And welcome in. Yeah, maybe it's the stream because there are too many effects on the stream right now. Alright. Huh? Neat. Play day one.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk Age 4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game.
Adam is green.
We've gotten to see a lot of footage of that, and we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right? Through
when
we unveiled the 100
I
Years
think I
War
met
and
him in
showed
New
Joan of Arc.
York.
But we have yet another way in
for the
Age
Age of Empires
bringing
remake.
history of life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it.
Well,
Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created.
beta
that are
we are
interspersed
allowed
amongst
to
the
live
campaign,
stream?
and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called hands-on histories. And what they are is a great way to like deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
Yes, please.
A counterweight trebuchet was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances.
Ooh. Trebuchet!
At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world.
Or as Chivalry 2 says,
originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century,
trebuchet.
trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end.
Yes.
And a sling.
And two people running.
At the other.
And running.
To prime,
and
the
running.
6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of two that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential
You do not
about
skip
launching
leg
a
day.
projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released, the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even breach them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this,
That was some
masons used a gauge.
professional work and precision work.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. Oh, this one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
150
Trebuchets were
kilograms,
also
you
used
say?
to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
At the speed of what?
Did you hear that whoosh?
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
That's cool. I like those little videos. And I love my trebuchet.
You know I'm going to say trebuchet. Don't care, because that is
No,
awesome.
don't.
And remarkably
Don't.
unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is, history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so
But
for
where are the
these,
cars?
We really wanted to do that same thing. So
With the rocket
ourselves
launcher.
and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV. And they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations.
And now you're
all
going
these
to the
different countries to
website.
meet
Just
with
imagine
these
that. You
subject
go to the
matter experts
website.
and get all of this great
And there's no
footage
award
on
there.
how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery. Okay. And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them
not
is
sure
that
I want to know
they
that.
go all over the place. So, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And so...
Because they rarely used flaming arrows, and I think their live stream just died. Yep, that's not on me. Oh yeah, yep. The chat is just exploding right now. Let me see if this is running.
Building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them.
Let me see.
But we've also got all of these ones on, like illuminated history and falconing
Twitch
and,
died.
like horse taming, armor creation. And there's even one
Twitch
on
died.
Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments, we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing as them in the campaign, in the game.
And we got the YouTube stream
I
up.
just love the behemoth amount of history that you guys... Age of Empires, always known for bringing history alive in a completely different
Because
way.
we are
And
smart.
I also love
and we are preparing for things.
You and the team do so much research.
Hashtag professional.
It's so great to see this approach being used in a hands-on
Folks, thank you so
history
much
kind
for
of
the
segment.
follows,
I mean,
and
what
good
was that
luck with the
approach like to
giveaways.
sort of, sell
welcome
going forward, especially since
to the
it's
Xbox
such a unique
Gamescom
game experience?
event.
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted to do is try to tell these stories in a different way. But I'll tell you, like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking because we're trying something completely different that no one's ever done before in a game, right? We're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having fun. And finding that middle ground has been really challenging. And every time we've shown the campaigns or we've shown these hands-on histories, I've been like, oh God, it's gonna work? Like, people gonna like this? And the great thing is so far, everyone that's really experienced the entire thing put together have just been like, wow, this is great. And it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, so far so good, right? But yeah.
And now it comes down how the game is.
To get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned Journey because we are coming towards the end of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com.
Theoretically,
about the
we'll
title,
see if that will
really,
work
really
out.
Excited. Right now, you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing. But
yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time.
Tomorrow.
There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Oh my, I will do.
Maybe. And I like it very much.
Yeah,
Adam,
we'll watch this tomorrow.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always
so
a pleasure.
don't worry
Age of
about
Empires
that.
4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th.
And I just realized the
And we have
boots
tons
she
coming
has
up
on.
here today, including a new update for Save
Like,
the K2
holy shit.
and an extended look at
I don't want to get kicked by that.
with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows PCs,
It is.
mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space.
They will
no
extend the
and no buying a
lifespan
new
of
console
all the
just to play with
Xbox
your
consoles,
friends.
especially
See
the
how
Xbox
vision of
One.
Cloud gaming will bring people together.
This whole
without
generation, basically.
So when I think about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you can play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Which is like kind of crazy.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal. That's pretty great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
This actually looks so good. games are large and you want to keep the ones that
like,
you
especially if
love
you
on
still
your
have
hard
like a
drive.
PlayStation
Xbox Cloud
1
Gaming is about being
and you
able
want to
discover
play
new
like
ones
Microsoft
right away.
Flight Simulator on
It's
your
super exciting that for our Game
Xbox
Pass
One,
Ultimate members, they will get to experience
you can
Xbox
just do
Cloud
that
Gaming
now.
on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how people play differently. I know me in particular, sometimes I just have 20 minutes.
It should be as easy as finding the game that you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
We're targeting 1080p at 60 frames per second.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very smooth.
The process itself.
Yeah, they are all
to
now
get
running on
gaming
Xbox
feels like you're
Series
playing a
X.
console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press play.
It's so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
No more using the Microsoft Store. You shouldn't use that anyways. This is why they have the Xbox app.
An invite. It makes content just so much more accessible.
Like, I'm not using the Microsoft Store.
It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits.
Just the
of
Xbox app.
Having to be on a specific platform or a specific console. Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content. Isn't that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability, because you are connecting to consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to play.
Which is crazy.
There's so much opportunity,
Which means
when
that
it
they
comes
are
to
basically
thinking about how
not
to get content more
abandoning
readily available
their
and let
previous
people play
installment
where
base.
they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
Holiday. Okay.
August 9th saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates, this is the perfect opportunity to relive Senua's journey or experience it for the first time. And if
I
you
mean, don't get me
haven't
wrong,
played
it's an
this,
amazing
do
game.
yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2. So join the live Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the
I love
game
the stage,
map,
though.
plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've
Neat.
loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right, you
Oh,
are,
this
Paris.
is the
Let's
new
talk
Wasteland
3.
DLC.
Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
I have to admit, I started actually
Holy detonation is life.
started another run.
Within Cheyenne Mountain, we've changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you. Set on a righteous path.
Oh
The
my.
holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone.
Yeah, I started a new run, but I didn't really.
May
Move
the
too
light
much.
of the holy detonation purify you.
Oh,
Join
October
us,
5th.
Rangers.
Prime Matter. Oh, right. Right. Prime Matter.
With new
Wasteland
patches,
3 was
bug fixes,
published
and
by
added features
Deep
like a
Silver.
fine wine, Wasteland
Right.
3 just gets
That's
better
why
with
Prime
age.
Matter is
To
the
really
publisher
savor
of
the
this.
game's bouquet,
Right.
we're talking with In Exile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile, Wasteland 3.
And I'm pretty sure it sounded like Liam O'Brien actually doing the voice acting, but I might be wrong.
Our dev team has been working non-stop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game, and if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time
I
to
heard
jump
it
in.
got really good.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing.
Like all the issues they had at the beginning, especially with the multiplayer, is apparently fixed now.
Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit.
Holy
Tell me
Detonation.
what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god. And, these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous.
That sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong? And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland-style dungeon crawl. And in there, you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists.
That's
who've been lost in
interesting.
this pre-war time capsule.
Ooh.
And some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best parts of Wasteland combat and we breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a
The one
corner,
thing I
throwing
really
down
don't
turrets,
like
just
about
going
Wasteland,
on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so
I don't
now,
like that you
combat
need
doesn't end
ammunition.
until the mission is over. We send you on proper
And I know it's a
combat
personal
You're
opinion.
in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are
A little
some
bit.
of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll
Just
see
a tad.
in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. In Exile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we
Wait.
want to make something that entertains us,
I
and
just
then we know
laughed.
if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun.
Am
along
I
with
now
us.
in the
And
game?
so we got to explore, really letting you get deep into this weird radiation cult,
Kidding.
and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and maybe even join them. And so for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. You meet him and he's like, hey guys, you should come in here
So,
and soak
chat?
up some of these rads, it'll be great. And he Sherpas you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And anonother one of my favorites is
Carbuncle.
Proteus. He's what you get if you took 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile. Kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile. And he's wet and sloppy and gross and he's hard to understand and he needs a translator supposedly. But he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to like explore.
What
like
the heck, man?
And he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but you know, the Wasteland's a pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it. And then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, you know, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and
the base game has already
like
like
going to be in Wasteland 3. But
100
please
hours.
Remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. And we're really stoked.
That is awesome.
Okay.
So this is the Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cult of the Holy
Detonation coming October 5th. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Or Flight Simulator. Oh, it's Borderlands. Okay. I didn't expect that. Huh.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands,
Again,
into Sea of Thieves.
I would go back
And we're giving all
into
of
Sea
our
of
players
Thieves
chance
in
to
a
learn it
heartbeat.
during kind of the Gamescom time period.
If
So
I
it's
could
been really
deactivate the
cool to work with
PvP.
the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as
But
part
without
of this
that-
live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you
Not
can
my cup
probably
of
guess
tea.
the kind of activities that are involved. But if you head to Larina at any of the outposts,
Here's the
in
thing,
Sea of
I
Thieves
normally
world,
don't have
you'll
any
be able to
problems
fully learn
with
the details of what you
PvP.
need to go do to
It's
earn
just
it.
that in Sea of
So we hope
Thieves, I
everybody gets a chance to take part in
really
this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to
really
get your
is
hands
like
on a
not
Mayhem
my.
ship set. And I think that's it from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Not my cup of tea. Oh.
Hope. It's always been a dangerous world.
Oh, yeah.
But now, it's hope that brings us back together. It reunites old friends. It builds new bonds. And in the the face of a growing threat. Hope.
I never came back to this game. State of Decay was alright, but it was... They have ambitions. They have a lot of ambitions actually, but the indie budget they basically had was like, yeah, you can feel it. New map. Interesting. Welcome home, Sekra. By the way, welcome home. Like, I'm actually curious how State of Decay 3 will be.
Welcome back to Trumbull Valley.
And this is from the first one, right? Like the map they just showed was the first State of Decay.
Well, just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please
I still remember the first one bit. I haven't fully played the first one, but I still remember
Hello, I'm great.
bits and blobs there.
Talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update.
Those shoes, man. Like, her shoes are just...
We were there for
I don't want to get kicked by those shoes.
Talk to me about the difference.
That must hurt.
Sit right here and listen, because you're adorable. So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open-world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return
I didn't
to
mean
Trumbull
the
Valley with their
heels,
communities,
but
start new
good point.
communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a
Yeah,
sequel
high
then to
heels.
Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there are,
So I assume this might be the
lots
last
of players to
update or the
discover,
last big
a lot of
update
environmental
for State of
storytelling to
Decay 2.
find. And, you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended.
When is State of
Talk to me a little
Decay
bit about
actually
what
coming
some of
out,
those
the
things
third
are
one,
that
next
players
year?
can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game.
Oh,
including
interesting.
12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second pun of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major
Yeah, they
milestone
apparently
that we're
added
celebrating.
tons
State
of
Decay
stuff
2
to the game.
has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million lifetime hang your hat on that. I absolutely love that.
Really grateful.
Incredible.
She's only
amazing.
wearing them because she gets to sit a lot.
Team at Undead Labs, man.
Hey, I'm not an expert in
Well,
high
speaking of
heels.
Xbox Game Pass, let's
Don't
give me
look
the
at
deets
me.
one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass.
I know that trick.
Happy homecoming.
I mean,
Thank you,
yeah,
Wonder,
like
very
the
much.
people who are
My
talking
pleasure.
about this right now in chat are the experts. I'm not.
Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Strayblade.
And what's Strayblade? Oh, 505. Okay, they're using like a interesting art style. Huh.
In Strayblade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between
That sounds a
epic
little bit
fights
more
and this
interesting what
small
he
guy,
says.
There's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Strayblade.
The trailer
I'm
didn't
Leonard
really
Koch, game director at
win me
Point Blank
over.
Games, and today I will show you Strayblade. Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji. Unveil the history of the forgotten
I want to
valley
play
and see the
him.
powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that,
Reminds
we put
me a
our
bit
hearts into creating
of,
fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes.
What is it called?
You can choose from multiple weapon categories
Age of
that
Reckoning.
can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the
What
exploration.
is it?
Korea's
Damn it.
colorful world
I'm
ranges
bad
from
with names
overgrown
today.
city ruins to frozen
I'm really
caves
bad
and
today.
winding canyons. Together with
Kingdom
your
of Amalur,
companions,
thank
explore
you.
the deepest corners of an ever-changing world, bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world
Very
around
much
you.
Kingdom of Amalur.
When you die,
Yeah.
time keeps moving forward. Enemies killed stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened.
Oh,
and when
that's
Boji
cool.
revives you. Only one thing is certain: the change you brought
Oh.
shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights.
Yeah, that is super interesting now.
We hope you enjoyed the first look at Strayblade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
See, that's the information they really didn't bring across in the trailer. Oh, there's the announcement.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're
Really
talking about
bringing out
Crusader
the
Kings
weird
3,
stuff of
a medieval
Crusader
grand
Kings 3.
strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been
Oh,
refined
interesting.
to bring that grand strategy experience.
So
to
like
control.
Stellaris?
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3 now, coming to Xbox consoles.
I'm really curious how this might look like.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed.
I mean, there's a reason why this game was one of my top 5 games last
He
year.
never understood that the greatest wars
Oh,
are
that's
won
cool.
with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords. Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they are doing with like all the menus and how that will work.
You see, real strategy requires cunning.
I'm not smart enough to play it. You don't have to be. That's the fun. You don't. Like, here's the thing: Crusader Kings doesn't want you to be smart. Crusader Kings wants you to try the bullshit. Roll with it. Just roll with it. That
Crusader
things happen.
Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected
We have
into
already
a
done that
psychedelic
today.
60s Wonderland kind of weird?
Exactly.
And it's awesome
that kind
so
of
far.
weird, which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really is something
I'm
special
actually thinking about
Psychonauts,
continuing this.
There really is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005.
After we're done
Psychonauts
here with the
originally came out.
Xbox
What's a
event,
different
playing more
time for
Psychonauts
gaming?
2.
Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games, for sure. But they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming.
And it did not
is
do well.
finally here.
Yes, it
Enjoy the
sell
long-awaited
pretty
launch trailer for Psychonauts.
badly.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, we have already played this for nearly 2 hours. And that's been fantastic so far. That's a nice music.
My name is Raz, and I'm the new
Intern.
Today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Sasha 9. 9.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what?
Agent Foresight.
Can we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Oh boy.
When men do misfires, turn the world on its side.
Love the music. Very James Bond-esque.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Leave it to me.
Yes, coming out tomorrow. But as I said before, we have already an early access game. We played it earlier. Thank you, Xbox, for that. And we might actually continue this.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least.
She has probably never played the game.
The original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago, Tim Schafer and Lizette Teatree Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the
Yeah,
first
like
game,
3
left
days
off. And
after
even
the
though
first
it has
one.
been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them, and so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which is
2 days.
we were able to do.
No, I
because
think it
we
was
brought back
3
a lot of the
days,
same
didn't they?
voice actors, and we
Say
also
3?
have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of
Sure,
people to
2 days.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll
I
it
love
back
her shirt.
a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Lizette, let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game.
I mean,
and
what we have seen so
style as
far,
well.
and it wasn't
so
much.
We're really focused on
It looks
how we
amazing.
could bring forward
Like, I'm
that
really
style
looking forward to play more
and
of this.
also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically
Do
that
we
we're
know how
finally able
long
to slap
Psychonauts 2
COVID
is?
anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we
They're
also
absolutely
have
funny.
our doubts and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets. Some flying regrets. There are.
I
other
love
ranged enemies,
the
and they
enemies so
definitely are
far in the game.
challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy.
Enabler.
You're also seeing our enabler here. He is our. It energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new Bad Mood.
Including the Bad Mood.
Which is
it's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't
So 40
played
hours for
the
me,
original,
then.
available
Okay.
now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way. Wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change.
La 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 la. I don't hear this. Spoilers.
And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in.
I mean, here's the
like
good
a
thing.
companion in battle
Even if I'm
or
listening to this,
puzzle-solving.
But let's talk about the
I would
story
have
for a
forgotten
second,
about
because
this in 20
the original
minutes.
Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
Agent Forsyth has also a
Right
big
down the
forehead.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him. in front
Oh
of all his
god,
new
also
friends.
spoilers.
So
Man, I really shouldn't
the
listen to
interns
this
find out
anymore.
He's the awkward middle child of the circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of
And
Tim
I'm looking
Schafer
forward
asking
to
burning
it.
questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, We're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely
Oh, the
satisfying
gunk!
4K60
Oh, we haven't
trailer
heard
for
about
The
this in ages. They announced this a year ago? 1.5 years ago? And then it just... poof! It just vanished.
To be careful out there. The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
And folks, thank you so much for the follows, I do appreciate that. Welcome to Siege, I hope you enjoy your stay here. And good luck. I mean, it looks cool.
Vex. Oh, please, Vex.
Huh. Okay. I think we already knew that it was
so
on
many
Game Pass.
incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on! And hey, you know what? Great job on that flight sim.
I assume that Forza Horizon is like the
Talking to
last
York
thing
is
for today.
always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the
Hey,
creators.
I was
Just
able to
trust
play
me when I tell
Psychonauts
you,
2 already.
Be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games
this is the
and
last
nerd
thing.
out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
So no Halo.
But we're far from
Wow.
done here.
I mean, we have
True.
September,
now, in June,
and
Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up
Okay.
to 2018's breakout hit open
That's
world
crazy.
driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles.
I would have
Xbox Game
expected
Pass
that
for
they
console, PC, and cloud,
talk
and
about
of
this
course,
today.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
I have never been the guy for collecting controllers. Wow, that's a splash of colors. Damn. I mean, I'm literally still using my Xbox 360 controller. Like, that's where I'm at.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza
Hi.
Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hey everyone. Hi Charlie. Hey
Hello.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a
part of the Horizon.
It is a
Festival. It's
pretty
just dropped out
controller,
the game into your lap.
very colorful, which makes sense,
And there's
especially
so much we do
also
want to show the
for
fans,
Mexico.
And it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful
And I heard amazing
all-new graphical
food.
features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait. And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Trailer.
That's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
I mean, that was the car they showed first with the, with the wings, basically. All right. Huh. Not.
Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and
Yeah.
what players can expect when they get behind the
That
wheel.
would be interesting.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before
Not
that,
gonna
we
do
have
that.
8 minutes of
Well,
brand
that's cool.
new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
You should. But why would you drop a car from an airplane? Oh my god. Oh my god. They were like, hey, how about we are putting a BR thing in a racing game? So you're jumping off a plane instead of just spawning in. That's what we're actually doing in this game.
Here we take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands atop the towering snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
My cam is in the way, but I don't think it's that important.
Follow that car! Past me!
Well, that car's toast. Kiss your suspensors goodbye. It's pretty. It's really pretty.
out for that.
Nice. And another airplane.
Making new friends, eh? You go enjoy yourself. I have to go make another delivery.
Just wait for the moment where the parachute is not opening.
Zone approaching. Lovely day for a drive.
Bush pop is better. Yeah, I have noticed that. But I have the feeling it won't.
2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Outtrack the storm. No sigue adelante.
Oh, there's the storm in the background. Look at that thing.
Okay, there's no other way around. We've got to go through it.
And this is how you get sand everywhere. And I'm pretty sure for those type of cars, sandstorm is probably not good for the machine. So yeah. But hey, video games, right? Right. Right.
Okay, on my mark. 5, 4.
How many cars do you have in that freaking airplane, man?
This could get a little rough.
Welp.
Touchdown! Not even a scratch. The jungle awaits.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos!
Ah. It looks so goofy. I love flamingos. Man, they have really nailed so far the different biomes of Mexico. Looks really good. Like a lot of diversity. And it looks much better than England. There's so much more stuff going on here. Even though all the green is screwing up the bitrate.
I'll swing back round and guide you through the bridge.
Love the music.
¡Qué maravilla! You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going.
I am pretty sure that you cannot see that from your airplane. Oh, some ruins. Oh. There's the crazy car. Put some Knight Rider in there.
What do you say? Rest of the festival wins? Vámonos!
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
Horizon! This is Mexico!
and then something happens and you have to start with one of the really shitty cars again.
If you've just arrived at Horizon Mexico, then you are in for a treat, my friend. Get ready for the biggest Horizon adventure.
I mean, it looks really good. We are faster than the airplane! Nice! Alright! That was neat. Food was made, members are starving. Fair point. Alrighty. It was good. Like I didn't expect any big announcements on this live stream. To make this absolutely clear, like I know that some people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, they didn't show like crazy big announcements at that show. They never do. They never do. Like for anyone who is actually expecting any big announcements, like nah, they never do. It's a sideshow. They had their big announcements at E3, but I do admit I was expecting that they're actually showcasing some Halo. Like in some shape or form, we're actually getting some Halo. And we didn't. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Maybe actually like the big thing is tomorrow when the Jeff Keighley show was happening, where apparently they're really just showing world premieres, right? So yeah. We will see about that. I'm curious. We will definitely watch the show tomorrow together. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, of course I will also upload this on YouTube again. And if you're watching right now, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to watch it live with us together, you can do so from Monday to Friday, starting at 9 a.m. ET, which is 1 p.m. UK time. And no, wait, 2 p.m. UK time and 3 p.m. Central European time. There we go. And yeah, you can find us on trovo.live/ChaosMole. No, not at Twitch. Don't look there. I'm not there. I might be a Twitch partner, but I'm not streaming over there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Also, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you might consider to leave a like. If you didn't like this video, well, the dislike button is right next to it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more reaction videos, gaming news, like opinion videos, and so on and so forth, then I would also appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel, because it would help me out a great deal. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Stay safe. Bye bye.